Hey guys, so in this video we're going to look at how to set up and optimize a squeeze page. We're going to cover what a squeeze page is and why it's important, the importance of continuous testing and improvement of your squeeze page in order to boost your conversions, top tips for squeeze pages, and how to set up a simple yet effective squeeze page to get you started. Okay, so let's start with what is a squeeze page and why it is important. A squeeze page is a page that is designed to capture a name and an email address. It's the page where you direct the majority of your traffic unless you're doing search engine optimization. It's important because if it isn't high quality, then it doesn't matter how much traffic you send to your squeeze page. Your conversions will be bad if your squeeze page isn't solid. An example of using a squeeze page would be, let's say you had a YouTube channel talking about health and fitness, and then in one of your videos you talk about this free ebook you're giving away, and then you add a link in your description section of YouTube. Well, that link will link to your squeeze page where you'd ask for a name and an email in exchange for your free ebook. Now that we know what a squeeze page is and we understand its purpose, let's talk about the importance of testing and constantly improving your squeeze page. There is no perfect squeeze page. No such thing as having a 100% conversion rate unless you only have like one visitor and that person signs up for your ebook, then I guess you have a 100% conversion rate. But in reality, that's very unlikely to happen. If you have 10 visitors, there's a good chance that you won't have a 100% conversion rate. Not all 10 of them will sign up for your ebook and give you their name and email. The point is that you need to continue to change things on your squeeze page and test out what improves your conversions. So things you can change include things like your images, the image of your ebook, for example, the text size, the font choices, the amount of text, what you write, and things like that. But it's very important to continue to test your squeeze page and improve it in order to boost your conversions so you make more value out of the traffic that you get on your website. So now let's go through some of my top tips for creating a high quality squeeze page, and in the next section I will show you how you can implement these tips and show you how to set up your own squeeze page. Okay, so my first tip is that you want to remove all the distractions and focus on only one goal. The only purpose and goal of your squeeze page should be to capture someone's name and email address. So things like the navigation links or content or things like that should not be on your squeeze page. It should literally just be a picture of what you're offering, i.e. your free ebook, your some information about that ebook, and then the name and email section, and then the call to action. So you want to remove everything else so there's no distractions and there's only one thing for the person to do. So my second tip is that you want to choose a layout that's simple and straightforward, and it can also have a double opt-in. What I mean by that is when they first land on the page, they should immediately see a section where they can enter their name and their email to subscribe and sign up for your email list and the free ebook. But if they scroll down because they want to read a bit of the content you put there can be another option there as well for them to enter their name and email. You just want to make it simple so they can always opt in without having to put too much effort in, because there's only one focus like I said before. So choose a layout that's simple and straightforward. So my third tip is that you want to make your ebook look like it's going to change their lives and that they must have it. You want to make it look irresistible, and there's a few ways you can do that. Firstly, you want to have a really good ebook image, and then it's about the content you put on and what you write. It needs to make them feel like they really need this book, which kind of leads me into my fourth tip, which is include some sneak peeks from the ebook. So when you're writing a bit about what the book is going to offer, talk about something that's in the book. So for example, if you're doing the health and fitness niche, you can say something like 10 secret fat burning recipes on page 10, and then they want to go to page 10, they want to download the ebook so they can read that information. And then my fifth tip is that you want to have a strong call to action, right? So underneath the name and the email, there's going to be a button there that says something like subscribe now. Well, that's not really good because people don't actually want to subscribe. You can write get your free ebook, or download your ebook, or get it now. Something that makes them want to take action. People don't really want to subscribe. That's not why they've landed on your squeeze page. They want the free thing you're giving. So you want to use some words that make them want to do it. So now that we've covered what a squeeze page is and why it's important to keep testing and improving it to boost your conversions, and we've gone through some of my top tips, we can now look at how you can set up a simple yet effective squeeze page of your own. So the first step is to find your squeeze page in your WordPress backend. So we're going to head over to the live screen and I'm going to show you how to do this, or where to find your squeeze page. Okay, so here we're at the live screen on a dashboard. You want to go to Affiliate theme and then squeeze and sign up forms. Pretty straightforward because you're looking for your squeeze page. And then you want to choose the one that's your squeeze page, which will most likely be the one that has this little section here that says /sign up. So this one for me. And here's where you make all your changes for your squeeze page. So let's go back to the slides and we'll see what the next step is. So the next step is that you want to remove the header and the footer on your squeeze page. Remember how we spoke about removing distractions? Well, this is the one of the ways you do this. So let's head over to the live screen and I'll show you how to do it. It's quite simple. So this is my current squeeze page. Can you see that we've got the header here with all the navigation links, and then we've got a footer as well? Well, we want to get rid of those to remove the distractions, and it's really straightforward. So back onto the admin section, if you just scroll down, this is where we were before. There's a little tick box here that says display header and footer. If you unclick those and just preview it or update it, depending if you want to see it first, it should, in theory. Okay, we have to update it because sometimes it's a bit slow. 1 minute. And then refresh this page. You can see that the header and the footer's gone. Okay, so that's that step, and then now we can move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to choose your layout for your squeeze page, and we'll head over to the large screen and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so it's actually pretty simple to choose your layout. Back onto the WordPress backend side, if you scroll down, exactly where we were before, you get your layout variations, as you can see here, and your layout options. You basically just want to choose one that suits you, but let's go to my current one and we'll review a few things. So first of all, the thing I noticed is that the ebook is really small, the image. That's one of the key things that you're using to sell your ebook, so you probably want a bigger image. The other thing I noticed is that this section here where you enter your name and email and with the call to action is quite far down. I would prefer if as soon as someone lands on my squeeze page they can see that straight away. And there's a few other things you can change as well, all in those layout options. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a squeeze page and then I'm going to show you what it looks like and why I chose this one. Alright guys, so I've chosen my layout. Remember, this part is just about the layout and not the information or the images or anything like that. The reason I chose this one is because it's got a strong heading that you can see clearly, a subheading, a really nice big image, and as soon as you land on the squeeze page you can see the name and email section, and you don't even have to scroll, and you can subscribe or download the ebook and end up on my email list. Also, if you scroll down you can get a bit of information about what the ebook is and what's inside if people want to do that, and then there's another option for you to sign up again, so you don't have to scroll back up like we spoke about when I was talking about my top tips. So this is my layout. You can choose a different one obviously, or you can use the same one. And now we can move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is that you want to use the ebook to get the information you need for your squeeze page. You can download this from the Fellow Jetpack section, and I'm going to show you where on the live screen. Okay, so to get the information you need for your squeeze page, if you head over to the Fellow Jetpack section and then go to the niche that you're using, and then you just want to scroll to here where it says ebooks, and then download your ebook. Once you've downloaded the ebook, you basically get this little stuff here. It'll give you the cover photos for your ebook, and it gives you a lot of different information. This is what you use to create your squeeze page and the information you use as well. Alright, so let's head back to the squeeze page section, and if you scroll down to the content options, this is where you can make the changes and write what you want, and basically change the information that's on here. That's down to you and the things you want to write. Once again, I'm going to make my changes and then show you what I've done to give you an example. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and made some changes to my squeeze page. I didn't really change that much. I changed what the title said, some of the content. I got a clearer image from the section I just showed you just a second ago when you download the ebook and all the content that comes with it. She wrote a bit more, like I said in my top tips, about some things that are going to be in the ebook and what page they're going to be on, just to create some kind of like excitement, so they think, oh, I want to download that ebook so I can read that section. But yeah, with the squeeze page, you don't need it to look perfect, but what you want is something that's presentable and good enough to get people excited and want to download your ebook. The thing to consider is that you don't want to be here all day trying to build your squeeze page and never get to that point when you drive traffic. I know I said it's important to have a good squeeze page, otherwise all the traffic in the world would mean nothing because no one would convert. But you still want to get started with driving traffic as soon as possible. So build a decent looking squeeze page. Don't worry if it's not perfect, and then just start driving traffic and you can improve from there. And we'll talk about that in the slides with the next steps. Okay guys, so the next step would have actually been to make the changes you desire, which I've kind of already shown you how to do, well, not how to do, but kind of how to do. But I've shown you the kind of changes that I've made, and you kind of just got to do your own and decide what you want your squeeze page to look like. That's pretty straightforward, and then after that you just want to test your squeeze page and make sure it actually works. Because you've made some changes, just make sure you didn't break any of the code by entering your name and email and just going through the process and the sign up funnel to make sure everything works perfectly fine. And that's pretty much it for your squeeze page. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you will keep on improving, but it's good enough to get you started with driving traffic. So let's just conclude everything we've talked about when it comes to squeeze pages. The first thing is that a squeeze page is the page that you send your traffic to with the goal of getting their name and email address. So you basically just want them on your email list. It's important to test and improve your squeeze page to boost your conversions. That's why I personally don't feel like it's that crucial to have a really great squeeze page from the get-go. You just need one that's decent looking and good enough to actually convert some of your traffic, and you continue to improve based on the results you get. Remember that there's no point of having tons of traffic if they don't convert, so you can't just have like a crap squeeze page. It has to look half decent so that when people land on it, it looks professional and they actually want to subscribe and sign up for your ebook, for them to end up on your email list. I know it's kind of like a hard point where you don't know which way to go, but it's like it needs to be good enough, but it doesn't have to be perfect, so don't waste too much time on it. And that pretty much concludes squeeze pages, so I hope that's helped you out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. And I know I didn't show you step by step exactly what I did when I created the squeeze page, where I changed everything, but that's the kind of thing that is quite straightforward, and you just got to trial and error and you'll be able to figure it out.